Hello, welcome to the live stream. I think my audio is working now. I realized I was talking to myself because I enabled desktop audio, not my mic audio, but I think it's working now. I see the little bar moving. And what you see on the screen right now is the sun in hydrogen alpha through my Lunt 40 and my QHY53 178M mono camera. It's a tiny camera, but it has a big enough sensor to capture the whole sun in one view. Previously, I used my ZWO ASI 120mm mini guide cam where I needed to do mosaics because it only fit most of the sun. If you were to look at this through your eyepiece, through the Lunt and the eyepiece, you'd be able to see the sun. It would be very red. You'd be able to see some of the surface details like the filaments here and some of the other rough surface features, but the prominences would be more prominent because they're on the edges. You'll see the sun just extending out in certain parts, and you can see a little plume here. I did take flats enabled here, so you can see that there are no dust specks here. I recorded a bunch of videos of the sun in this view, and I will be processing them as part of a video to show the entire life cycle of how to capture and process a hydrogen alpha sun. It will hopefully make it look like my last one, which was pretty well received, although I had Newton's rings and people kind of hated it. But anyways, if you want to see some more of the prominences, what I can do is, one way to do this is to increase gamma, but I found that gamma has like the opposite effect on QHY. On ZWO, if you increase the gamma, the sun gets brighter. On QHY, if you decrease the gamma, the sun gets brighter. Furthermore, if you click on more, the USB traffic, if you're on QHY, you want to be at 0. That means it's going to move the fastest, and on ZWO it's at 100. So I have both ZW and QHY cameras, and I have to remember when I record and I see something running at 6 FPS that I need to switch it the other way. So I talk about that in the video that's coming up too. So I'm going to decrease the gamma here because that seems to increase the brightness of the sun, and you can see this magnificent prominence here just erupting out of the sun, which is amazing. It's probably several times larger than the diameter of the Earth itself, which is mind-blowing. And of course, when I decrease the gamma, you can see some of the dust specks start to appear, which really doesn't matter. We also have a couple of other prominences on this side and a few more on here as well, but this one is magnificent. So if I do my region of interest here, if I click OK, it'll actually get rid of the flat frames and we'll start seeing the dust specks, which is okay because I'm not planning on doing any more recordings today. Click OK. Oh, look at that, flat field did not go out. Of course not. Anyways, it doesn't go out like when I don't care. It does go out when I do care. We zoom in, you can see this is amazing prominence, and maybe I should have taken some videos to see if I can get this kind of erupting, maybe falling back and then disappearing. So that's not the worst idea here. Let me zoom back out, go to my max ROI, click on this to fit. I'm going to turn gamma back off so that I have this, and I'm going to click on auto run here, and then I will let it take a bunch of images, videos in the background. 1,000 frames. Delay. Sun doesn't move very quickly, so I'm going to turn this to let's say 300 seconds. Oops, not 3,000. 300 seconds. Sometimes it updates all of them, sometimes it doesn't, and then I will take 10 of these, so it'll be 50 minutes worth of videos of the sun, and then I will click on start. And after it takes the first one, it's doing it at 41 FPS. I've gotten it as high as 90 FPS, but it depends on how things are moving with the hardware, but it seems to be okay. And this is the sun. I just have to make sure I pay attention to the auto run because I can play with the settings and show you the different parts of the look at that, some clouds. Show you the different parts of FireCapture and how we can get some more detail on the sun here. Oh yeah, of course. As soon as I start recording, you know, we see some clouds coming by, and I can see already that it is messing with the SolarQuest tracking the sun. It already moved quite a bit up in just the last couple of minutes, which is amazing. Great. Is it about to get cloudy? Is this live stream going to be ruined? I can't. Well, the one thing that I can't do with the SolarQuest is control it remotely from here. That's the only thing. So I'd have to go back outside, turn off the live stream so I can hop onto my laptop, recenter the sun, and then come back. So I am going to do that while I play the sun for you in the Sir player. Okay, so I need to go center the sun. You will watch a video I took of the sun for about a minute, and then I will be right back. Making Thor right now. Hey, awesome. Yeah, of course. Give me 1 second. Oh hey, look at that. The SolarQuest automatically is centering the sun. It moved it down, which is amazing. Awesome. Best solar purchase I've made so far, and I have about 3 minutes before it takes another video, which is great. Talking to Thor right now. Hi, Brian. I am Thor of Ragnarok. Okay, cool. Oh, come on, clouds. It is amazing. The same thing happened to me last time when I was trying to image Jupiter. There was so much clouds. I only have about 30 minutes of video of Jupiter out of an hour and a half. Brian asked, is this open source software? Yes, it is. It is open source. You can get this on FireCapture.de. It's actually not that's a good question. So let me open up I'll show you what that looks like. I'm not going to open it on this screen. Let's see. Still figuring out live streaming. Bear with me. FireCapture. So let's switch to my window to what am I capturing? Alright, I'm going to switch it to the window capture, display capture. Okay. Alrighty, so now you can see my Google. If you just Google FireCapture, you can click on this, firecapture.de, and it is it open source? You can download it. It's free. It's completely freeware. But is it open source? I don't think we have the code anywhere, but it's incredible. The creator of it is amazing. This dude here. I've been using FireCapture for a few years. I know a lot of people like SharpCap for planetary, solar, and lunar imaging. I have tried SharpCap a while ago, did a trial version of it, but then I just love FireCapture so much. But I'll probably try SharpCap again before the total eclipse in April 2024, because I'll have multiple setups and I want to see, I want to test it all out just to make sure. But you can see the compatibility here. FireCapture works with almost every type of camera out there. Of course, it doesn't work with DSLRs. You wouldn't want to use DSLR with FireCapture anyway, because it's for lucky imaging. With a DSLR, you just do regular video recording. And on Windows, it works with all of them. And even on Raspberry Pis, I can use it with my ZWO ASI and my QHY, which I need to test. But I've been spoiled by just having my laptop. It's just all the drivers are there and it's all set up. And it's pretty well maintained. The recent version of 2.6.13, I think, is from August or April. It's nice. There's a good community around this. Thanks for asking, Brian. All right, let's go back to the view here. Okay, let's look at my FireCapture. There you go. I took a second video, so if I click on this and click on open folder, so I have my videos here. So the last two are what it took, these two, 6 gigs. So it takes up a lot of space. So I'm going to go back to my ROI here, zoom in, and I'm going to up the gain, or the gamma, just to see the plume. Yeah, I could stare at this for a while. See more clouds coming in, but that is massive. Of course, you can see it's a cool animation of the plume going down. Those are clouds. It's not actually happening on the sun. Things on the sun move way slower. And the sun is gone. Amazing. Wow, it's completely gone. Yeah, I'm looking out my window. It's very dark. So this live stream may not have a live sun soon. That's what the sun looks like. Gotta love it. This happened to me during the eclipse as well, and that was not fun. There you go, it's back. Right, so I'm going to set the gamma back to where it was. I'll check in on this later on, and I think what will be cool is if I do a quick stack of one of the video files that I showed you and do a really quick rough editing of the sun and see if I can make something come out. So I'm going to switch back to display capture. And we can see the sun's here. And I'm going to open Autostakkert. Move it to the screen. So Autostakkert is a free software that you can download. It hasn't been updated in a couple of years, but it works really well. It does have an ad for FireCapture here, as well as JunoCam. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag this one, the 6 gig file here, click it, drag it over here. You can also click open here, or file and open that file here. And this is what our sun looks like. Zoom out a little bit, make it smaller. There we go. Okay, fits better on the screen. Okay, so the settings I have here are not for planet. I'm going to do surface because we're going after the surface details of the sun. You click on expand because it was actually really helpful with my ASI camera because it was a small sensor. I would only get half of the sun, and sometimes when it drifted enough, it would expand and actually make a collage for me, make a mosaic for me. That's pretty cool. Lazy way of doing it, but I don't have to do this with this camera because it fits the whole sun. But I'll keep it on expand anyway. Reference frame, keep it at auto size, and before we get to this options, we're going to click on analyze, and it'll analyze. Usually when I run this, it uses up all of my RAM, and then my videos stop working. So I usually record using an external audio thing. Whoa, yeah, this thing. And then sync up the audio. So hopefully, people listening to me, I am not cutting in and out. This is going to take a minute or so. And while this is happening, I'm going to go off camera and get myself some water. Alrighty, so that finished. You can see the quality graph. I have a lot of good frames here, which is great. And I'm going to keep it at stacking 40%. So it'll stack 400 frames out of the 1,000. But before we do that, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click on Place AP Grids. I have the size that's set to 64. You can even go bigger, but Place AP Grid. And what this does, it places alignment point grids. That's a whole lot. So I'm going to go up to 104, do Place AP Grid. The more you have, the slower it takes. And I think this is pretty good. And now if I click on stack, it'll stack. But I'm going to click on this sharpened file. It'll create a second stack for me. It'll be a little bit sharper. Sometimes when I'm feeling lazy, I'll just colorize that and not do anything else. But I think today I'll go through IMPPG and show you how I do that as well. So click on stack. And this is going to take a few minutes. While this is running, let's check in on our sun. Alright, so the sun is here. Let's see how long I have until the next one. So about 2 minutes. Let's do our ROI again. Yes. Gamma. Let's zoom in. Oh yeah. Look at that plume. Looks beautiful. I can't tell if it changed between the last time and this time that we looked at it, but it seems still very beautiful. Yeah. I can zoom in further. If you right click and drag, you can zoom in. Coffee here. Hey Bolo Chili, thanks for joining. Okay, it's beautiful. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna check on Autostakkert. Autostakkert is still running. It takes a little while. There's a whole bunch of steps it needs to do the actual stacking. We'll check on that soon. Back here. Let me reset and do a little bit better job of centering the thing. Zoom in. There we go. Wow. It says please refresh sending long messages. Don't know what that means. Streamlabs. Got a message from Streamlabs in the streaming software. First time seeing that. Okay, let's see. Lionel. Oh, I guess somebody is trying to. Lionel Pollard is trying to write a big message. Alright, my Autostakkert is pinging, so that's done. So I'm going to turn gamma off, go back to max, do this, make sure I didn't screw up this. Oh, look at that. 10 seconds until the next video starts. But we will go back to video capture. Oops. Go back to window capture. Let's transition back to Autostakkert. So let's do this. Whoops. Yeah. Alrighty. Okay. Autostakkert, sun. Alright, so it finished stacking, and if I look at my directory here, it created a new directory called AS4P40, and we have two files here. The one that has the underscore conv, that's the sharpened extra file that Autostakkert created for me. So I'll click on both of these, open this. This is what the sun looks like stacked. You can see the prominence here. Yeah, it looks amazing. The filaments here. Okay. If I click on the next one, look at the sharpened file, and this is what it looks like. So it looks a lot sharper, looks a lot better just from looking at it, right? So this is just Autostakkert's sharpening. Although it's good, it's not amazing. Like if you use AstroSurface or Registax, or now that I'll be using IMPPG, those are way better for sharpening and deconvolution. So I'm going to close this, and I just like to have this just for fun. It doesn't use up a lot of space, just 12 megs. And I'm going to open this one in IMPPG. Well, I've opened that. Let's go back and just watch this for a second. Let's see, where's IMPPG? Is the plume behind the limb? Yeah, I think so. I think it's farther, a little bit farther back. I'm not sure, but let's see how long I have. We can take a closer look at it again. 220 seconds, great. Let's go back, let's zoom in. Turn on my gamma, there it is. That's what it looks like. Yeah, it is amazing. It does look like it's a little bit behind. Yeah, I know this is blowing my mind. The sun is, or the Earth is probably like only like this small. So it's probably like 2 or 3 times taller than the Earth itself, which is amazing. Yeah, yes. Okay, let's see. IMPPG, did it open? Right, let's look at this for another minute while I figure that out. Going back off camera while I figure this out. Alrighty then, back looking at FireCapture, about 2 minutes. So I'm going to go away from the screen again. So I'm going to set the ROI back to max, turn off gamma, and let's zoom back out so that my next video fits well. So I have 127 gigs. If I look at my folder here, I have now, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frames that I can later turn into a time lapse. Brian asked, have I ever caught Mercury or Venus through my scope? I have caught Venus with my Nexstar 6 SE 10 years ago. I haven't tried since, but I did capture the planetary alignment last year. I'll show that in a minute once we do, right after the IMPPG part. But they look like tiny dots in the sky, so they're not zoomed in versions. I do want to take a better look at Mercury at some point. Just need time, you know, time in a good place. Mercury is always so low on the horizon, it's really hard to do, but hopefully one day. All right, so IMPPG here. Okay, so I'm gonna just copy that. No, let's not go there. Copy this. Go to IMPPG. I will open. You can click on this or click on this little button here. You can see my previous workings here. I'm going to open the unsharpened version, so not the _conv. Click open. There we go. Zoom out. Scroll bar. Zoom out. Click on this, which shows you just the full resolution. We can see the plume here. Alright, I'm going to zoom back out. And I'm going to put a marquee box around this so that it processes the whole image. And I'm click on this little tone curve editor here. And open in the other screen. So, okay. And the first thing I like doing here is clicking on log, so it's showing me the logarithmic version of the curves here. It's a little bit easier to edit. And the one thing I've started doing since my last imaging session is doing the inverted view of this. So I click on invert. You can see the sun looks very different because the colors are just totally inverted. But I find this a little easier to edit. So if I click on this and I start messing with the curves here to try and make the disk as well as the outer edges of the prominences pop more. This is what I usually come up with. I will admit, when I do this, it takes I play with this for like 3 hours because I'm never happy with what I get. And it's also, you have to be careful when you're messing with this. But you can see that like the edges here, they got smoothed out, so you can't see any of the surface features. So it's just about finding a good balance. I like turning the left all the way down. You know, the background becomes black. I find it a little bit easier to work with. Okay, work with later on when I put it into Photoshop and colorize it. So this is what the sun looks like. Whoa, look at the sun looks a lot more 3D here. And if you right click on this, it goes away. I'm gonna right click on this. Yeah, sometimes, you know, it's just playing around with this. Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to make the edges not get smoothed out a little bit. That's not the easiest to do. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna go click on File. I'm gonna do load processing settings because I've done this before. I have processing settings saved from my last one. Sun V2 process. Click open. No, it failed. All right, let's turn that off. Load processing settings. didn't work. Okay, all right. I'm gonna try the first one, the first version. That worked. Why didn't the second one work? The second one was like perfect for me. Weird. Okay, so I guess I have to redo this. Anyway, so this is what it looked like here. I can click on this. Yeah, I think this looks a little bit better. I can zoom in on the plume here. You can see what it looks like, which is like, wow, right? This is such good detail. I'm surprised. This is my first time taking that camera out for a test drive, a real test drive, not in clouds, and I'm really impressed with it. And looking outside, I'm pretty sure the sun has disappeared. I'm just gonna do a quick check. Oh, it's still pretty visible. Interesting. It's when I look out the window, I don't see sunlight at all. Okay, let's go back to IMPPG. Zoom out. We can look at the sun. Look at this. Looks pretty good. I'm not a fan of the smoothed out here on the edges here. Let's see if I can fix that. Let's see. Look at all the hair on the sun. Okay, I think that's here. No, this is like controlling the brightness of the very outer edge. A feathered mask. Yeah, I can do like an unsharp mask. I don't know if you can do a feathered mask. You can do an adaptive mask, but I will play with this. Let's see. I'm gonna remove this one. You can't do a feathered mask in IMPPG, as far as I know. As far as I know. That's a good question, though. I'm gonna stare at that prominence later on once I colorize it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's interesting. I think I'll have to like maybe play with this later on. I don't want to keep playing with this while you stare at me for 3 hours, because as I said, I do end up spending a lot of time on this. And once this is done, let's see, mess with the decon for a little bit. There's a checkbox here called prevent ringing. This is in beta. If I click on this, the app will crash. So I'm not going to click on this. I'm going to move my... If you hear the scratching, that's my cat using the litter box. She does that when I'm recording. Okay, but anyways, I'm pretty happy with this. So I'll click on File, Save. It'll ask me to process the image. I'll say yes. I'm going to go back here, and I'll do a sun V1, because I'll have a V2 later for sure. There we go. That's what Photoshop is for. Yes, that is right. Alright, let's open this up in Photoshop. While Photoshop runs, let's take a look at our sun again. Let's see, I have 4 more videos left. I'm going to, let's look at the